It's a lot. It's good, bro.
Hey, what's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. I'm proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, all the allegations. Are you attracted to men or women?
It depends on my mood and my vibe.
Is it true that you've had sexual relations with Meek Mill?
I can't tell you that.
Meek Mill has finally broken his silence, stepping forward to expose a chapter of his life he kept buried for years. Dragged into the chaos surrounding a high-profile lawsuit connected to Diddy, he now speaks with the heavy weight of someone who witnessed far more than he ever revealed. And here's the thing. He doesn't throw direct accusations. But every single word he delivers carries a sharp sting of betrayal and the unmistakable marks of manipulation. There's a quiet intensity in his voice, a tension that tells you this wasn't just industry politics or business pressure. No, this was something deeper, something that cut into his soul, something far harder to shake off. And now, his revelation has poured gasoline on an already raging fire, amplifying public curiosity to new heights and raising even more uncomfortable questions about what really goes down behind those closed doors, what it truly costs to survive in that world, and whether the price of fame is one that nobody should ever have to pay.
Topics coming out of this week was a producer that worked with Diddy named Little Rod did a lawsuit. And in that lawsuit, he alleged a lot of things, one of which is that he was slipped one of the famous drinks that Diddy does, and then he woke up feeling like something had happened to him during the night. I can't say the word on YouTube, but people know what I'm talking about. And he also alleged that Meek Mill and Diddy had a relationship, a sexual relationship. I wanted to see if you had read any of this, or if you had any reaction to people actually coming out now and saying that Diddy does stuff with men, that's not just the Cassies and the escorts and whatnot.
Well, yeah. You know, I love y'all when y'all act like this on YouTube, like y'all haven't been hearing Reggie Wright speak on this stuff. I told y'all, I said, real soon, that's going to start coming out about men. Because Puffy is not paying for male escorts, ordering up male escorts if he's not doing it for his enjoyment. You only order up female escorts and other females. If you get down like that, you don't be ordering up no male unless you want that male with you. So for all the others acting shocked and surprised, I said somebody's gonna come out and expose it real soon. And of course, that's what's happening. It's unfortunate that stuff like that happened to people. I know y'all believe in the Illuminati stuff. I don't believe in the Illuminati. I'm gonna tell y'all up front. And y'all say now because the powers that be is not protecting Puffy, there's a reason that these people are coming out and suing them. Well, hey, why? Because now, once you pay out people, and that's why when he paid out that judgment, the next thing I told him that was bad. Because when attorneys will take on cases and say, hey, this dude paying out this quick, he'll pay us $1 million right quick, or $300,000, whatever, if he wants stuff to go away. And, you know, I'm sure those insurance companies that he has that mainly, y'all don't know is the one that be paying those things out. I try to educate y'all on, is usually your company insurance companies that pay them out and make these decisions. When you have the business insurance or the businesses, you have the different type of insurance that make you pay out these things. Because by the time you have all of these different lawyers and stuff involved, it's just as quick to settle a case. So that's unfortunately is what's happening to Puffy. Everybody's going to come out of the woodworks. So I'm not trying to say that he don't deserve any of these lawsuits. I don't believe about Meek Mills. I'm a Meek Mill fan. I don't know what happened. I noticed when he talked about it though, Meek Mills didn't deny it. like I said, I don't want to believe that that is true, but I am one of those like y'all. But don't say you motherfucking crazy. I ain't never did nothing like that. Then it's usually some smoke with that fire. And so I'm not up here saying Meek Mill's was involved in that thing. I'm not saying Usher. Yeah, I am. Or Justin Bieber and all of them. Puffy gonna turn out to be our modern day. Oh, you're about to get mad. He's gonna be our modern day Michael Jackson is what Puffy turned out to be, in my opinion. That's my opinion. My opinion on it. No black folks get mad when we say Michael was doing that stuff, but I believe Michael doing things with little boys as well. That was my opinion. You ask me how I know. I know a alleged victim that was around us. He's a very, very good friend with Ray J today. But anyway, man, it's hard for me to say whether this stuff is true or not, and I'm not going to get up there and start debating it.
But hold on. That revelation was just the beginning of the chaos. Meek Mill shook the entire narrative once again, dropping another explosive claim that sent shockwaves across the internet. This time, he's talking about a near-fatal car crash. A crash he believes wasn't just bad luck or a random accident. With tensions between him and Diddy already hanging by the thinnest thread, his words landed with sharp, undeniable edge. Now, he stopped short of pointing fingers directly, but he strongly hinted that something far darker may have been unfolding behind the scenes. Something deliberate, something calculated. And the internet wasted absolutely no time reacting. Speculation spread like wildfire as fans and online detectives rushed to piece everything together, debating furiously whether this crash was a tragic coincidence or something far more sinister. Refusing to hold back any longer, Meek put his raw suspicions out in the open for the whole world to see. That brutal honesty sparked a massive surge of outrage and curiosity, transforming an already volatile situation into something even bigger. And now, everyone is left wondering just how deep this story really runs, and what secrets are still waiting to surface.
Telling y'all, Puffy been giving y'all all the signs that he's trying to come out of the closet. I hope he just finally come out of the closet. It's obvious in 2024, we don't care. Society don't care no more. They done TV shows and all of that can brainwash us to say half of y'all, well, maybe 10% of y'all in the comment section take, and hey, that's just the era we live in. I have a problem with gang. You say, well, why you care what a man doing and all that? Because that's one of the main reasons that God flooded the world and set the world on fire and did all the stuff that he did, because he was mad when he found out the men were down here having sex with animals and having sex with other men and stuff like that. That was the one thing that pissed off God. Now read your Bible, y'all learn. I know there's more to it than what I just explained. That was the gist of what happened. So that's why I have a problem with homosexuality. But I know in 2024, I'm from an old school, where in the 80s and the 90s, people that were doing that were hiding. And now y'all out with it. So, hey, that's on y'all. But my point to saying that is, Puff need to just come on out with it. Because lawsuits and stuff is going to keep blackmailing him and threatening him, and they're trying to expose him with these things because they think that he's scared of these things coming out. And once you don't give a fuck and tell them, I don't care. Do what y'all gotta do. These were adults. These weren't kids. Everybody that did something like that wanted it. It ain't too much that's going to be happening. The next thing that's going to be happening, and after this, is now you're going to start seeing some criminal investigations getting open. And because when you get too much of this smoke, law enforcement generally gets involved. So that'll be the next thing that will be happening to Puffy, unfortunately, for his sake. Y'all know I'm one that believes if you ain't getting psychological help, getting some type of help, and you're a victim, you got to come right away with me and tell it. Then you're a victim to me. But when you're talking about it and you haven't been getting some type of psychological help, then you 10, 15 years later want to come talk about it, y'all better not ever have me on no jury for no like that. Because I'm going to be like, get the f*** out of here. Why didn't you bring it up when you had to? That's what's supposed to happen to victims and victims to me. If the stuff come out immediately, not years later, not when you finally find an attorney to take the case because they find this open season and they seeing that you opening up the checkbook and stuff like that. So that's what's happening to y'all boy Puff, P. Diddy, Brother Love, and all of that. But don't act like y'all just starting to hear it. Because I've been telling y'all, the brother is a homosexual. And he's fighting it, trying to hide it, and he needs to just come clean. Yeah. He'll be good. Y'all remember when I told y'all that deal on that last video? All of y'all need to apologize in the comment section too. When I told y'all that his deal wasn't, he still had that deal with Ciroc. And when I talked about it, everybody was like, oh, they already did away with him. And I told y'all, it ain't true. You can't just take stuff from him. Well, then y'all just see the article a couple of months later where they settled with him and they made a deal with him. I'll be trying to tell y'all stuff, but I love how y'all go listen to other motherfuckers on YouTube and all you YouTube attorneys. But when y'all want to hear stuff, know stuff, get it right, y'all know where to come. Ball first. You get it first.
And that's precisely why Meek Mill isn't backing down. Not even an inch. He's stepping straight into the storm with fire in his voice and pure conviction driving every single move he makes. Silence is no longer an option for him. He's standing firm, ready to defend his name and his legacy from every rumor, every lie, and every shadow that's tried to define who he is. With a fearless edge and a crystal clear sense of purpose, Meek is now calling out what he sees as the industry's hidden power structure. Forces he believes have worked quietly behind the scenes to stall his rise and twist his truth into something unrecognizable. For him, this moment goes far beyond headlines or just surviving another scandal. This is about taking back control of his story, demanding the respect he has earned through blood, sweat, and sacrifice. He faced down every pressure that tried to break him into pieces. This isn't just resistance. This is a statement, a stand for truth. And Meek Mill has made one thing absolutely undeniable. He's not stepping away from this fight. Not now. Not ever. And anyone who thought otherwise just got their answer.
It was a big story. So a lot of his people that know him, a lot of the people that been in those parties and seen probably some unscrupulous that went down and was like, ooh, I was there. I hope they don't got me on tape. They feeling a certain way. So they're not going to speak on nothing until they've been approached with something. You got to realize when Homeland Security get their evidence together, they're going to send agents out. You understand? They might send an agent out to me. Yo, what do you know? What have you heard? What have you seen? What's been going on? You know what I'm saying? You know, did this happen when you was around him? Did this happen back in the day? That's what they're gonna wanna know. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna send investigators out. They're gonna send people out for anybody that they can get some information from to help their case. So those celebrities ain't gonna say nothing. You know, you got your man Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine he had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. If it's on videotape.
Yeah, man, I know they gotta be shook, man, after finding out he was recording everything.
But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statement are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
Meek Mill has opened up about the deep emotional toll tied to his past connection with Diddy, revealing wounds that run far deeper than anything the public ever saw. He described how the fallout from that dark chapter left him struggling just to stay grounded, leaning heavily on real support and inner resilience just to carry the crushing weight that followed. And in an industry where image almost always overshadows reality, Meek's raw honesty cuts straight to the illusion, offering an unfiltered look at the vulnerability that fame usually keeps hidden from view. Behind all the success in the spotlight, he paints a picture of relentless pressure, impossible expectations, and a constant grind that nearly became too overwhelming to bear. But he makes one thing absolutely clear. This isn't about chasing attention or grabbing headlines. This is about facing the lasting mental and emotional scars that shaped his entire path, and finding the strength to reclaim his peace, rebuild himself from the ground up, and rise above the chaos that once threatened to shatter everything he worked for.
Rod Boston came out, and there's the gay allegations about Meek Mill, well, Usher, but Meek Mill was the one that got real upset. He said, I'm not gay. But he's everyone stop asking me if I'm gay. I'm not gay. And then you went in, and then he essentially, so essentially what happened is, we've been, I do long live streaming for like 5-6 hours. Like, when these things are happening, we're not just giving quick takes. Like, I'm going, like, even today, I bought the Christian Combs document, like the entire lawsuit. We're reading word for word. We want to see what's actually, because a lot of times on these sites, I've always said, like, I kind of pride myself on trying to go the extra mile. A lot of people just go to, like, say, I don't know, Rolling Stones or Variety, and they see a summary of what's in the lawsuit, and they regurgitate it and even make it even smaller, and they put that out. Yeah. Well, I got time, and people want deep dives. No, they, and we got a lawsuit. So the Lil Rod lawsuit we got. Yeah, I read through the whole, and it didn't mention Meek by name.
but there was a footnote.
A Philly rapper who used to
redacted
date
the name.
Nicki Minaj.
It was like a Jeopardy question.
Who is that? There can only be one person on the planet. Unless there's a Philly rapper that also dated Nicki that no one knows about. It's obviously Meek Mill.
So essentially, I reacted to, like, I literally found out on social media. Fuck, I'm like, yo, no way Meek Mill was in these free calls. Like, I know we've seen the video of the pool and the matching outfits. No, Meek is like the toughest, biggest gangster. Like, he's like a killer. Like, no way he's like getting, you know what I mean, bent over by Diddy, the diddler. So I reacted like, I'm not even believing it. That reaction went viral. And the next day, Meek, as I said, he's a special type of stupid, as 50 said. He seen me reacting to it and thought I made it up. So he's like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do to academics when I catch it? Now, previously me and Meek had a truce.
But I remember, because I remember the last couple of times on Bronx Day, you're like, hey, listen, me and Meek are cool right now. Taking shots at him.
We had a truce, but Meek and him being so dense and being so dumb, he actually thought that I made up the lawsuit. And by the way, even after he started threatening me, and I said, I didn't make it up. I said, just clear up whatever it is. But I didn't make it up. You know what he said? This is clearly AI generated. I'm like, Meek, Meek is so dumb he couldn't even spell AI. Like, how the hell you know this is AI generated? Bro, this is an actual lawsuit. I'm showing it, like, look, it's filed in federal court.
Right.
Nah,
here's the PDF file.
Exactly.
So, the PDF's AI.
Yeah, so he basically starts, he says, you know what, man? He's like, yo, he starts going, like, off the deep end. He hasn't even cleared up the rumors. Like, rather than saying, hey, this is lies, I'm going to have my attorney, you know, deal with any salacious lies spreading about me like a normal entertainer would. I am not gay or whatever the case is, or I've never been in any sexual situation with Diddy. He says, I'm going to kill you academics, and what I'm going to do is, he said, first things first, he said, someone send me academics address.
Like, he said, I'll die to shut you down.
Yeah, then he says, I'm going to die. Then it was so
which is crazy. Which is a crazy thing to say. Meek he's cut it out. You're not going to die to shut down academics. You're a multimillionaire with a great career and kids. Cut it out. Grow up.
Meek literally then tweeted out a couple tweets after. He said, well, the governor just called me. And I was just like, this makes like, wait, you're planning a murder online. And the governor calls you to talk about it? Like, also, the reason why him and the governor are in cahoots is primarily because he's the guy that they kind of torn around for prison reform, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I'm down to die over it.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I always tell people, I said this is a gangster rapper paradox when they're threatening. They say this, yo, I'm gonna kill you, this and third. And if you actually say, all right, I'm not scared of you still, because you usually back out once they say they're gonna kill you. They're a gangster rapper. They rap about spinning blocks and switches. They're the killers of the earth, okay? When you tell me you're not scared of them, they flip it on you. Man, you just trying to trick me out of my position. You trying to send me to jail.
Right. He said, I'm going to treat you exactly with the effects of you influencing. I'm gay and I have 3 sons. I'm getting you Addy now. I'm coming.
Then he told me he was going to record a video and pee on my steps. And I was like, right. I imagine Meek just like sneaking up and like, first I'm like, yo, that's a sexual crime already. And Diddy is already into some shit that you're alleged with. Don't pull out your penis on my property. That's a problem. That's a sexual crime. You can't just whip out your dick anywhere. Bladder, you gotta tell these people. That's a crime.
Yeah.
So he threatened to come. Don't come with the same dick that you and Diddy been doing whatever with and come pee on my property. Afterwards, he said the governor basically told him that he should stop beefing with me. And then he went into this whole tirade of how he's going to I'm gonna donate some, like, so I told him, I said, what's not cool is a rapper like you who's pushing 40. There's nothing wrong with age, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But still acting like, you know, one night he says, because the people in Philly have been saying, you know, you don't even live here. Like, why do you keep acting like you're still in the trenches, like, and you're living a bad life? You're living a really good life. You know, he lives like in one of the most expensive high-rises in New York City, right?
I don't know.
Like, he just showed off like about 10 expensive cars that sit in that car place down in South Jersey, right? This guy's living really good. Yeah. Except he's saying that he's down to spin because people from his hometown said, you're not here like that. You're not acting.
Meek Mill has spoken with raw candor about the emotional weight left behind by his past connection with Diddy. revealing just how deeply those experiences wounded him beneath the surface. He shared that the aftermath pushed him into a constant fight just to stay grounded, relying on real support systems and genuine connections to carry the heavy burden that followed him everywhere. And in an industry where image often overshadows truth, Meek's honesty breaks through all the noise, offering a rare and completely unfiltered look at vulnerability in a space that rarely makes room for it. Behind the fame, behind the success, he describes feeling drained, trapped, and boxed by the relentless pressure that comes with living under the spotlight. But he makes it crystal clear. This isn't about headlines. This isn't about lawsuits. And this definitely isn't about public opinion. This is about facing the emotional and mental scars that never fully healed, and finding a way to reclaim his peace, rebuild his strength piece by piece, and rise above the chaos that once threatened to consume everything he had.